Let me guess. You're constantly battling the unique demands of shift work, aren't you? Feeling relentless fatigue, brain fog, or the health challenges that come with those irregular hours. Well, it's time to stop just surviving your shifts and really start thriving. At A Healthy Shift, we're revolutionising workplace wellbeing for 24/7 teams. As a veteran shift worker for over 40 years, I know exactly what you're up against, and that's why we've built something truly groundbreaking, the seminar experience. Now, this isn't just a keynote, it's a completely new evidence-based program which is designed to empower entire shift-working workforces. I want you to imagine your team armed with the strategies to optimise their sleep, boost their energy, and elevate their health, no matter what schedule they're on. Our core keynote is powerful, but we also offer specialised add-on workshops, which cover deep dives into women in shift work, how to work your own roster optimally, as well as fatigue management for managers. We need your help to bring this transformation to your workplace. Managers want to invest in their teams, but they need to know that we exist. Are you ready to bring real, lasting change to your colleagues and your organisation? Go and visit ahealthyshift.com. That's ahealthyshift.com and follow the seminar experience link up the top, where you can download our detailed e-brochure, or you can simply follow the link in the show notes. Let's help your workforce thrive, not just survive.
Ladies and gentlemen, time for a healthy shift. And we're nothing. Are we all done all like a healthy shift? Roger Sutherland, as you may or may not know, from A Healthy Shift. 40 years, how many?
40.
40 years in VicPol, Victoria Police. Now just leads a life of leisure. Doesn't do too much at all. Huh?
I don't think there's too much leisure, unfortunately.
Well, why aren't you taking more leisure time?
That's an excellent point, one that Melissa asks me often.
I'll bet she does, because you're constantly on the RUN.
RUN, on the run. Yeah, I am. I've dedicated my retirement to actually helping shift workers, trying to help them to recover from the pickle and the mess that they're in at the moment. It's a really, really brutal world, shift working, specifically here in Australia, but more so, around the world as well, because we're horrendously short-staffed. Leadership seems to be lacking in a lot of areas as well at the moment, which is causing a lot of angst amongst the rank and file, younger.
I just think it's in the service. I think it's culturally we lack great leadership.
Yeah, we do. Because people won't have hard conversations because we've bred a generation of snowflakes as well, so people are too scared to actually have that conversation.
We've bred snowflakes.
We've got it in again.
What is a snowflake that we have bred?
How soft is a snowflake? It's got no resilience in any way whatsoever, and unfortunately, with the way I see politics has gone today as well, we've just developed such a woke society now, a society of people wandering around looking for a place to be a victim. And they have. They're sensitive to absolutely everything that's going on. Instead of just getting on with it and going, that's what happens, and moving on with things, we listen to our vocal minority, unfortunately, all through our left side of politics at the moment, very much are listening to the left, to the woke people, the vocal minority. And I think once we need to stand up, and I think this is, in all honesty, I think this is one of the main reasons why One Nation's starting to really generate a lot more support in politics, because they've never wavered on what they stand for.
But I think each and every one of us, historically, people say, well, what's the answer? What's the answer to life? We're all looking for the answer.
Yep.
There is no answer.
Yeah, I know, but we're not on the right track now, whatever that is. We're not on the right track. We can see...
The right track to what?
Well, to a good... And put it this way. I'll ask you this question. Yeah. Do you, in society, feel safe today?
Yeah.
You feel safe? Do you?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, okay. Well, I don't. and maybe it's because of my own knowledge and because of the people that I communicate with today, we have got to the stage now where a lot of stuff that is occurring in this state in particular is actually not even reportable news anymore because it's just become so common.
I feel we'll take some calls, 133693 when Roger's here, whilst Roger's here.
Yep.
And thank you for coming in, by the way, this time of the morning. I love it when you're here for a Monday morning.
Bit of energy.
Well, it just gives me the energy.
Yes.
I don't know, but it's good for me.
Yeah.
The idea of thinking that somehow I don't want to live in fear, Roger.
No, I agree.
I don't want to live in
Neither
fear.
do I. No one does in this state or any
Or
state.
around Australia, by the way.
Around Australia. This is not just unique to Victoria.
So we're not. Why would we want to live in fear? And so I choose not to live in fear.
Yeah, I agree.
Now I'm also acutely aware that there are some issues that will be addressed in the fullness of time.
Oh, can you say they will be?
I think they will be. Why would they not be?
Well, they don't seem to be addressing them now so far.
Well, who's not addressing
Well, the
them?
Premier's standing there watching the state on fire at the moment.
Well, the only way around that is that we have the election, which will come up later this year,
Yep.
and then people will decide whether or not they want a change of government.
Well, do we have faith in the other side at the moment? And this is the question as well. Have we got faith
In the alternative?
in the alternative?
I'm not too sure about that. I suspect perhaps not fully yet.
You closely watch the media. You closely watch the pollies. Are we in a position where we have... Like, I don't know. I just feel that we're just wearing different clothes but got the same idealations at the moment.
So what would be the answer to that? I mean, I'm
I
always
think
looking
this
for the
is why
answer.
One Nation is rising everywhere.
But could you guarantee that one nation, the right will be, that extreme right will be the answer either?
No, but the people see that they've got the policy and the policies have not changed on their stance on immigration.
Well, their policy is simply get rid of anybody, in her words, who's a Muslim.
Yeah, it was a poor choice.
It was a really poor choice.
really poor choice.
But that's where it sits for most
But they're
people.
cashing in on that and they're sitting on that. But I think listening to her...
I think her words were something along there's no such thing as a good Muslim.
Yeah, which is awful.
Which is
and she's been called out on that by everybody.
Yeah.
And I'm sure, I don't know what her commentary is around that statement, but it came out, which clearly was very poor. But I think Pauline's policy, the way she talks, the way she speaks in relation to a lot of things, I think a lot of people are looking for the answer, and she makes sense in relation to that.
Well, let me tell you this. The answer, my friend,
is blowing in the wind.
is blowing in the wind.
It absolutely is.
The answer is blowing in the wind. Now, who wrote that?
Wasn't Hall & Oates.
Bob Dylan.
Bob Dylan, that's right.
It wasn't
Hall &
Hall &
Oates.
Oates.
No. Around that era.
Dylan.
See, I said it wasn't Hall & Oates, and it wasn't.
So he was, I mean, he was singing that in the 60s.
Yeah, that's right.
The answer, my friend, is blowing in the wind. We're still looking for the answer. We go through life looking for the answer.
Yeah, we do.
There is no answer. This is it. This is as good as life gets.
Yep.
Right now, this is as good as life gets. It doesn't get any better.
No, not at the moment. That's right. That's a fair statement.
But even in 6 months' time, 12 months' time, it will be a new version of this.
Yep.
This is it.
And it will be the best life then too.
It'll be the best life then.
Yep.
So why don't we take the stand? This is as good as life gets right now.
Okay, but let's go back 40 years to the image of Australia and how Australia was.
40 years ago. It's different times, different people,
I agree.
different culture.
It is, absolutely. But it was different culture, you've said. What have we got now as culture?
It's a different culture, and we can manage it, can't we?
Oh, no, I don't think we can manage it. I don't think we are doing it.
Don't use that. Look at this. Don't use the word woke. Woke means that people care about the future. And so we sometimes misuse that word woke as if it's almost a derogatory term.
Yeah, fair call. I'll take that.
Pam Mantalizer, you wanted to say, talking about great shift work, say hello to Roger. Roger, say hello to Pam.
Good morning, Roger and Tony. Yes, I've been listening to your program, Roger, when you come on every fortnight, and I've been meaning to give you a call. I work as a registered nurse for 37 years.
Amazing.
And
Well done. Well done.
yes, in the big public hospital system. I didn't work in smaller private hospitals. And of that time, 8.5 years was spent on night shift, and I did 4 10.5-hour shifts a week.
In a row. Yep.
Yes, in a row.
Yes.
Because the children were small and it made it easier for raising our 3 children.
Yes.
Because their mother was always around. But unfortunately, their mother was always battered around because of the lack of sleep that I got. And I remember when I came off night shift, my eldest son was 15. And his comments to me were, after a couple of months of day shift, "Mum, you are a completely different person to the one that you were on night shift."
Yes.
Because I look back at it now and I was a grumpy, horrible sod because I was only getting about 4.5 to 5 hours sleep a day if I was lucky. And during the summer, it was just terrible trying to sleep.
Yeah, I agree. Your son was also fortunate enough to be able to wear the latest Nike shoes and wear the new clothes and be able to go to the school excursions and things like that because you were working and earning good money and being able to do that as well. I'm not making excuses, but do you believe that it's a great observation that your son's made, that you're a different person altogether? I've been told that by my own children as well after 40 years. Our new normal totally changes, doesn't it? Like what we every single day it's chipping away at us until we completely lose ourselves, and then we end up with what is a new normal, and we accept that as our new normal. And this is a huge problem for us, isn't it? Until we step away. And then did you find that life seemed to become boring? It became flat and flatlined? How did you feel about that?
No, I didn't, because I still continued to do exactly the same things that I did when I was on night shift. I still had to, get up, pick them up from school at 3:30, and then I had to run them to their sporting activities, and I had to come home and do the cooking, and then I had to, rush around and do the washing and get all the school lunches ready and then get myself ready and go back to work. But no, I don't think it became boring at all, Roger. It just became different. It was just a different lifestyle. The fact that I got to sleep in bed with my husband 7 nights a week, which was much nicer, of course. But I realise now I was so sleep deprived that I became very difficult to live with and uneasy with the children.
Did you realise that at the time, though, Pam? No, you don't.
No, I didn't really.
No, you don't realise.
I'd snap a lot quicker at them and not be understanding and sit down and listen. I was always too busy and rushing around. Oh yes, we'll talk about that later. And then I realised when I got onto a normal day shift, I had more time and more patience and more tolerance and a lot more understanding of what it must be like for them.
What a great call, Pam. Thank you for sharing that. And that's not an unusual claim,
This is common with most people. And this is what I talk about on my socials for shift workers. Are you turning up as the best version of yourself for your family and the people around you? Because you quickly learn once you step out of it that you weren't.
Lots of calls. We'll get to them on the other side. 133. It's a great call, though, I got to say.
Oh, I agree.
Because I think there would be many around Australia that would identify with that.
Totally.
And, and even in this thing that I'm doing, as much as I love it, it's
isolating.
Comes with a price.
Well, it does, because when you're outside of doing this,
and I saw other people do this, including the great Keith McGowan, who from time to time would be challenged by this.
Well, I'll tell you where you notice it. When you want to pick your phone up and look at your phone to read something, and someone goes, "Hey, Tony," and you go, "No, wait, stop. I just need to read this," and that's where you realise.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you. Who have you been talking to?
Stop it. I didn't even mean that.
Joe,
I'm sorry. I apologise.
Joe, thank you. You've just stabbed that wound. Roger Sutherland, I'm Tony McManus. You can join us 133693. And I think you're right about One Nation on the basis that they, in the polls would suggest, not that you can really always believe polls, but the current polls would suggest that One Nation are up there and probably even just nudging the coalition.
Do you think the coalition should form an alliance with One Nation moving forward in politics?
I think if they're for their survival, they probably are going to get to the point where they would have no choice.
I don't think they've got any choice now.
No, they haven't. Joe in Adelaide, hello. What do you think?
Look, I want to be honest. About 15 years ago, I would say definitely not. One Nation, Pauline Hanson, the whole thing. I was against it all. Okay. Now, mind you, my family's from Lebanon. I was born here, but if you look at me, you think that my family's from somewhere else. So just so you know, a lot of ethnic people, I speak on like Middle Eastern people, we don't mind so much that there's a little bit of racism. That's okay. We can handle it. Because a lot of ethnics come from countries that they can't even get food. There's a lot more bigger problems than someone saying, oh, go back to your country. Like, we don't mind that. Like, it is horrible to say, but there's bigger issues in life. So when we see someone like One Nation, Pauline Hanson, and we see that they actually stands for something, for a better country, I actually think a lot of it do like her, what she stands for. So, yeah.
Good on you, Joe. Thank you, Tanya. Morning.
Oh, good morning again, Tony. Good morning, Roger.
Morning, Tanya.
I actually agree with that gentleman because I believe even 35 years ago, listening to Pauline Hanson, if someone had possibly given her a little bit of, I guess, training and managed her and so she could be a bit more, and she could actually articulate her message out a lot better than what she did, even though right now I believe she's speaking and wanting what the majority of Australians want these days. She is actually standing up for what she believes, and I believe that the majority of Australians believe and want the same thing.
And Tanya, she's never swayed from it, has she?
Never, ever has she changed her opinion. And I mean, she's admitted when she's been wrong.
Yes.
She's been crucified many times, but I have to admit, I will be voting for her, definitely, because she is sticking to her beliefs, and I think if she could pull it off, absolutely.
She'll die on that hill, won't she? She'll stand there and die on that hill.
Yes, 100% she would.
And that's what we look for, don't we, Tanya? That's what we look for in the politics.
Maybe.
Someone who's going to die on their hill.
Maybe. Be very careful for what you wish.
Oh, I totally agree with that too.
Pete Somerville, good morning.
Oh, hi. Yes, look, I'd like to point out there's a few facts about Muslims that people just... I think there's a real education vacuum there, and I'm going to read a little bit of what I put on an SBS video on YouTube that caused them to pause the comments. And I begin with my comment here. Muslims see the great Prophet Muhammad as an example in Muslim behaviour and the perfect man. So it's a simple question of what is he like? One thing he had was a sex slave who bore him a son called Ibrahim. His third wife was a 6-year-old girl called Aisha. And you can find out, at what age he consummated the marriage. Yeah. It's all in the public record. And it's a question it's such a different, call it culture or religion or whatever you like to call it, that we don't even know what questions to ask. And this caused the SBS to pause the questions, and it says strong criticism has been levelled at One Nation, at Pauline Hanson, blah blah, and in order to maintain our community guidelines and respectful conversation, we have decided to pause comments, and they're not interested in any facts or education as to what Muslim goals are. Nobody wants to do their homework.
Well, I mean, a lot of that is unpalatable to many. Just in some of the things that you've just mentioned, it's unpalatable.
Oh, it is
to most of us, and yet, presumably, what you're also saying is that there are many people inside that community who think that is acceptable.
Oh, that's right, because that is their and I think their religion, that is what it is. I think one of the biggest problems that we have today is, and we lose the point, people flee a country and flee what they're running away from, wherever it is. And then they come to this lucky country, this Australia.
Or other countries around the world, by the way.
And that's what I'm talking about. No, so exactly, for everything. Africans and Muslims, everyone comes from their own areas.
Muslims are a religion. It's not a...
Yeah, no. But what I'm saying is they come, but then they don't integrate. This is the problem that I feel, that they want to push this culture onto us and expect us to accept that in our own country. Because if we went there and did our way, like if we were to wear singlets and shorts and walk around in the Middle East,
we would be in a bit of strife.
We'd be in a lot of strife.
Yeah. And would be heavily penalised.
But very heavily. That's the point.
Can you imagine our women folk in that part of the world occasionally, in various levels of dress or undress?
The way they dress here?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
In St Kilda. Hello, Chris.
Good morning, Tony. Let me just start off with, thank God we have a third party, hopefully, to vote for in Pauline Hanson. I think the bulk of Australia is supporting her, and I think we're not seeing true leadership by Mr Albanese and Penny Wong and Tony Burke, who likes to celebrate many of these greetings of ISIS brides, apparently. But my point I want to make this morning, rather than getting into this too heavy, although it can't be described any other way, is the massacre that took place in Bondi, but also the massacre that's taken place in Iran. They've underquoted this too, apparently. So thousands of people are being murdered by the murder squads of Iran. They've turned off the power. They've shut everything down. They still can't get it out.
It's dreadful. I agree. There's no question about that.
Agree, Chris. A quick pause from today's topic for something vital for every shift worker. That's right, that's you. Now, you know the relentless grind, constant fatigue, struggles with sleep, and that feeling your energy just isn't where it should be. And this is a common story in 24/7 roles, but it just doesn't have to be your workforces. At A Healthy Shift, I've combined 4 decades of frontline experience with cutting-edge science to create the seminar experience. Now, this isn't just a basic workshop. It's a comprehensive, game-changing program that is built to give entire workforces actionable strategies that they need to truly master their well-being on any schedule. And they're implemented immediately. Now, beyond the powerful core keynote, I offer specialised add-on workshops which dive deep into women and shift work, fatigue management, and how to work your own roster. Now, these tools empower your colleagues to thrive, improve performance, and boost their health, helping your organisation to retain valuable staff. Now, if you believe your workforce deserves better, speak up, because your managers won't know about this vital resource. Click the link in the show notes, download the e-brochure, and put it up the line. Invest in your team's most valuable asset, their health.
Yep, so what do we do? What do we do? We need to look at what's happening in Sydney. Apparently there are suburbs there that are already...
We've lost Chris. Did we lose Chris? Did we, for some reason, just disappeared? Not too sure why, Chris. You've got a bad... Sorry, Chris, go on. Just finish that sentence.
Yeah, I'm here. It's just unfortunate what's going on in Iran. Hang on one second.
That because you can't come on the line and swear. Rog, why don't you introduce our very special guest? This is a thing called the glass bowl method.
Yeah. meal prepping. We all absolutely hate meal prepping, don't we? Like, no one enjoys it at all. Everybody struggles with meal prepping. We know we've got to do it because it's just healthy living. And today, I've actually got a guest, which I've identified, with an amazing solution for all of us. And this is absolutely incredible what he's come up with. Jesse, welcome to the show, and share with us how the glass bowl method came about.
Hey, good morning, fellas. Thanks for having me today. So the glass bowl method is something that I came up with through my own personal struggles with gaining and losing weight throughout my life. From a young age, I was super overweight, and I ended up losing 40 kilos in high school. But that was really just the beginning of a lot of weight issues, because after that, I struggled with gaining and losing, yo-yo dieting in my early 20s. And then after a recent trip overseas, a long trip overseas, I came back and once again, I was super overweight. So this kind of forced me to come up with something that was not only going to help me lose weight again, but also then make maintaining that easy once I got to the other side. And using this method that we're going to talk about, that I ended up losing 21 kilos, and the last 2 years I've kept it off. So,
yo-yo dieting is a real problem, isn't it, Jess, for people? Because every single time we lose weight and regain weight, it's really difficult for us to actually re-lose it every single time. Can you give us...
Oprah used to talk about that.
Oh, Oprah talked about it a lot. All right, because what we've got to realise is we don't actually lose fat cells. We just lose the content of them, but they do multiply every time we put weight back on again. Jess, give our listeners a visual of what glass bowl prepping actually looks like.
Yeah, okay. So I'll give you one of my most popular recipes. For example, it's a chicken pesto, chicken and rice dish. And to make it, I'll go through it really simply. So to make it, all you need is a bit of uncooked rice, chuck in some uncooked chicken, pesto, yogurt, bit of veg, bit of stock, salt and pepper, chuck it in the oven, and that's it. You're done.
It's that simple.
It's literally that simple.
Yeah, and if people look at Jess on his social media, that sounded literally like one of his videos that he does, and he literally shows you very simply how it does. And we'll get to where he is because it's incredible. Now, you've created a book that people can actually buy which shows this, and it's a digital download, so it's fantastic. How many glass bowl recipes have you currently got in the book, Jess?
Currently right now, I've got 140 recipes, and part of the deal when you grab the book, it comes with updates. So I'm continuing to add more recipes every couple of months, and the goal is to get it sort of over 200 so that there is so much diversity there that just about anyone will be able to find recipes that they genuinely love and can stick to for a long time.
It's incredible. So, and we've got breakfast, we've got lunches, we've got dinners in there. What about, can we adapt these recipes to suit a family?
Yeah, 100%. So the idea behind them is everything that I've made is single serve, but then you can just take that and multiply it or triple it or quadruple it, put it in a massive dish, and all of a sudden you've got dinner for the whole family sorted. So they're very versatile.
Absolutely incredible. Now, we've got people listening now that are on the way to work. The alarm's just shocked them, woken them up. They're in a rush. And what well, it does, because we're here now in Melbourne, and it's 13 minutes past 5. So they're probably driving to work and they've rushed out the door. But you've got the solution for them, because they can just go to the fridge, grab 2 of the glass bowls because they've got breakfast and lunch. Give me 2 quick, not recipes, but give me 2 quick ones that they've just grabbed out of the fridge that's going to really light them up for the day, that they feel really quite proud of themselves for.
Yeah, so one of the recipes that's going extremely viral at the moment, everybody's loving it, I'm loving it, is it's a chia seed pudding. And the cool thing about those is that there's so many different versions that you can make. So the one that's really popular at the moment is a coconut mango one, and it's full of fibre. It's got protein. It's got everything you need. And the good thing about that, you just mix it straight in the fridge after a few hours, ready to go. So that would be the first thing that I would suggest that someone could grab for breakfast. And then for lunch, another thing that's quite popular right now with my recipes is a really basic chicken cucumber salad. Again, it's super quick. Chuck them. You can make a whole bunch of them, chuck them in the fridge for the week, and then in the morning, grab them. You're sorted. Breakfast done. Lunch done.
Sitting on the passenger seat, feeling as proud as punch. Jesse, your social media is insanely good. Can you tell people where they can find your social media, and then where can they get this incredible book from? Because it's a digital download that you can carry with you on your phone, and you can just go, oh, I need an idea, and the idea's there. Where can people find you and see who you are, see your story, and then where can they get the book from, Jess?
Yeah, so on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, all the social media platforms, you'll find me under the name Jesse's PT. All one word.
He's
Jesse's
everywhere.
PT.
He's everywhere.
And the link to my book is always going to be found in the bio of all of those social media pages.
I highly recommend this. And
Jesse, thank you for getting up nice and early for us.
Yeah, I appreciate it, Jess. Thank you so much, and good luck with it. It's just the most insane thing ever.
Good on you, Cobber. Thank you. Have you ever met Delta Goodrem?
No, but I'd really like to.
Okay, watch this space. Straight after this, Australia Overnight. Now, Roger, I can see you getting all decked out and all ready for Eurovision 2026.
How could you not?
You live for Eurovision.
I do. How could you not?
Love that Eurovision.
Where is it?
It's in Europe, so say hello to Clint Drieberg. Clint Drieberg is a dear friend of this program for many years, and he brings news of the Australian, if you like, who will be representing this wonderful nation.
What great news!
Yes, some exclusive news, boys. Good morning. Yes,
well, except it's already through the papers this morning as well.
Yeah, but nobody reads the papers anymore, Tony.
Agreed.
Very good.
It's true.
There you go. Okay, good point.
Delta Goodrem is going to Vienna.
Delta!
The 70th Eurovision Song Contest. And yes, it's the 10th time Australia's been involved, and maybe we're saving the best till last. Of course, we all know and love Delta for the years. She's been up and down our charts since 2001 when she first released her song. Then she was on Neighbours. She went on Ramsay Street, remember? Nina on Ramsay Street with Delta Goodrem. But I have the exclusive bit for you, Tony. Do you want to hear what Delta's going to sing?
All right, please go.
Let's have a listen.
Is this 4 minutes?
No. I hope not.
Okay. Here it is. This is the song from Delta for Eurovision 2026. Here we go. Wow, who put all that all together?
You can see the wind machines, can't you? Yeah, she's worked with a huge array of producers. The video clip is absolutely astounding. It's set in a sand dune backdrop of Australia. That's what she's going to be singing on the stage in Eurovision. Eurovision gets underway on Tuesday, the 12th of May. Australia participates that Thursday in the competition, and then hopefully Delta will get us through to the grand final on Saturday night, the 16th of May. We didn't do too well last year, lads, whether you remember, with Gojo, the milkshake man. So Delta, I can only go better than that.
The milkshake man. You're right about that. So how does it work? Just remind people, so she will perform it once, twice, 3 times?
Probably about 15 different times, but the important time she is doing is the semi-final. So Australia has to participate with all the other countries. We are in a thing called the second semi-final. If everyone votes enough for us, then we get through to the big finale on the Saturday night where there's about 20 countries that go through. So it's a competition. I like to describe it as the Olympics of song, Tony, and we're participating again for the 10th time this year. It'll be the 70th Eurovision, and to send Delta Goodrem is a huge deal. I mean, when she's sold like 9 million records, so we're really playing with the big boys, and she likes to think she's following in the footsteps of people that she's idolised, Celine Dion and Olivia Newton-John, to name just a couple.
There's a little bit of Celine in there, just a touch.
She's absolutely beautiful.
Yeah, she is. And that song, I think, really does it, does us proud in a way that only Delta can sing. She can go all the octaves, can't she?
Yeah, she can. Top and bottom, she's fantastic, and she's easy on the eye for people. They'll really like her.
Oh, that's right. Well, it's about her talent.
Yes.
It's about her talent.
Don't forget,
it's
Tony,
not her eye.
It's not just about the talent.
Doing that on stage, like it is about
I know.
It's a visual representation as well.
I know. Yeah. I'm just trying to antagonise.
Yeah. Get a rise out.
Get a rise. And I'm sure that people, because it's Delta, somebody that we've known and loved, as you say, for many a decade now, that in itself is going to be of interest.
Mm.
Yeah, but don't forget, this is about the world, Tony. So people have to know Delta around the world, and she's made that.
But from an Australian point of view, to get out there and barrack, I'm thinking about.
Exactly. We're barracking, but we need the rest of the world. And she's done the hard yard. She's done the festivals in the UK. She's been to Malta and sang on stage there. She wrote that song with some really great producers, done the video clip with people who've worked with Snoop Dogg and all that sort of stuff. So it's got world class on it. And that's what we need to participate in Eurovision. And hopefully Delta can bring home the sparkly crystal microphone come May.
Oh, Clint, thank you for sharing that with us. We might play a bit more of that later on. Margaret River, Jason, thank you for waiting. I think we've got you back. You wanted to say?
Yeah, I was calling up earlier to talk about lithium just because I keep hearing the advertisements every 90 seconds from your station regarding it.
Every 90 seconds is a bit of a stretch story, but go on.
Sorry, maybe 2.5 minutes.
Yeah.
Anyway, don't quote me on that. It was more addressing the previous conversation about this new war in Iran, and I just thought in my head, most people don't actually know, and after hearing the lithium ad, that I think it's 80-90% of the world's lithium is mined from the Congo, and it is mined by bare hand, and the death toll per annum in that country for mining
it's
specific resource is ridiculous.
Yeah.
I just find it hard that is the main piece in everyone's current smartphone at the moment. And most of us are probably unaware as to that. But the second a bomb goes off, everyone's eyes over here.
Yeah, look, Jason, you make a great point around that. And I think there's, and the other thing too that probably used to irritate me, and it still goes on, where there are very young children that are doing, placing beads and things onto dresses and costumes.
Yep.
And we buy that stuff and then we wear it 3 times and then throw it out.
Yep. Yes.
And so that's a real concern for me, but it's not an issue that makes the front page of the paper.
No.
Which I think is what Jason's
It's a great point. It really is.
It is. We've got to do this when we come back. We're sort of, I can't believe, look at the time. It's well and truly against us. Now, young Roger.
Yes.
Young Roger. Look at
I'm young.
Look at the way you picked that up so beautifully.
Of course.
Do you remember the band Chain?
I do.
Do you remember the name Phil Manning?
No, I can't say
Phil Manning was the Australian guitarist, played lead guitar with Chain.
Right, yes.
There would be people right across this audience very familiar with the band Chain.
Yep.
For example, it sounded a bit like this. Bit of harmonica. Song called Black and Blue. Phil Manning today is a birthday boy. He's 78. Happy birthday, Phil.
Same age as Jeff Kennett.
Exactly the same age as Jeff Kennett, who's also having a birthday. He's 78. Happy birthday, Jeff. Thank you for coming in. We'll see you in a couple of weeks'
Thank you very much for having me.
Roger is leaving the building. I'm Tony Mack. For all we know, we may never meet again. May our hands only ever be held out in friendship, never in want.